we are live. First time doing something like this. This is something I've talked about doing a handful of times. Watching somebody else's stuff, giving commentary on it, talking about things I like, things I agree with, seeing if I can add to anything. I have not watched this video yet, but the only thing I have watched on it is the first few seconds to get kind of a sound check here. And hopefully things are going okay with the audio interface, because, you know, nothing can go correct all the time, right? Like, I keep noticing it's picking up sound, and I don't think it should be. So, for those of you in the stream, Mr. Taylor, Lord Potato, hello. Could you please let me know how things sound? Like, is the voice being picked up okay? Is the guitar being picked up okay? I'm gonna wait for a response here. Charles! Thank you. All right. Sounds good. Thank Bob. I was like, why? As soon as I go to do this whole watch and respond thing, why does it have to be... Why do I have to have technical issues already? Jesus. All right. Well, that's good to know. So, got the mic set up in such a way that I'm going to have the desktop audio get picked up the same mic I'm talking into. Hopefully that works out okay. So again, if there are any sound issues, please let me know, because this thing will get edited down to a more digestible, easy to watch video. See, I'm looking at that audio interface. It's like, why is there so much noise coming through? There shouldn't be. It still sounds okay. There's not a bunch of noise or anything. Just change the setting. Faint fan. Okay. Hello, Joe Lou. You hear static now. Well, that's not good. Now you hear static. Lovely. Why is this happening? Let me try changing a setting here, see if this helps. One moment. Alright, so let's just change that over. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with my interface now, because this thing is, it's like, well, this is a great frickin' start now, isn't it? This is very disappointing. the microphone. This is very discouraging. And I just got done recording video for a lesson using the mic here. Now I'm wondering if it's going to turn out to be a huge staticky mess on that too. This is not going well. Maybe it is aliens. I might have to just forego the usual setup here and just use the room mic. Sorry about this. I've never had this happen before. I don't know why I would be doing this now. I'm looking at my output settings and input settings and trying to change stuff. But, man. Ha, yes, that's why. I'm not TikTok famous yet. Oh, Lord. No, that didn't do it. Seen any unplugged cables. I just plugged something in. I thought that may have taken care of it, but this is ridiculous. Alright, well, yeah, it's because I just turned something way down, so it's like not going to get, I don't think it'll get picked up anymore, though. It's basically just I turned the interface volume off. If I turn it up at all in order to pick up the guitar, let me try a different mic. Maybe it's the mic that's the problem. What a great start. I really like the way this mic sounded too, but I have had issues with it in the past. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. 1, 2. Okay, I think it was the mic that crapped out on me. I hope. Man, I might have to redo that whole video lesson then. This is a heavy mic. All right. Jesus, what a great start to this new thing. And of course I had concerns about doing this. I've never done a live comment thing before. Look at that. It's working again. The mic crapped out on me. That was the problem. Lord. Alright, well, there we go. We got something to work. Gotta really crank this thing to make it work, though, unfortunately. Oh, well. Turn this little noise gate off here. Do one more little check. Alright, so let's actually get into the whole reason why we're here. Besides watching me troubleshoot for over 10 minutes. God. So, yes, the idea behind this is I've been wanting to do what I see happening in the fitness industry all the time and just, you know, basically give responses to some of the, big videos that you see out there. And I want to do this in a positive way. I have no intention of tearing anyone down. This is not going to be attacking anyone like I want to say ever, but, most likely no attacking. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to be, do the trash talk channel. I'm going to just see what it is. So what is this? What are we looking at here? Bernth. That's the channel. That's the guitar player. I honestly don't know really anything about him. I see his stuff come up all the time. I see he has instruction courses out. I can't remember. Hey, look at that. It's up there right now. So yeah, we're gonna start watching it here. Again, this is the first time I'm going through it. Don't know what it's gonna be like. But let's find out. Do I agree that these are 5 big mistakes all self-taught guitarists make? I will say I don't really like absolutes, because like all self-guitarists make. Do they all do this? Maybe a great percentage. But I get it. You got to make a catchy title, right? Okay, so hopefully everything sounds good here. Again, if there are any sound issues when I start playing the video, please let me know. Here we go.
There's a very big chance that you, the awesome person that's watching this video, are a self-taught guitar player. And there's an even bigger chance that you're currently making some pretty bad mistakes that really stand in the way of getting better fast. This is how you might imagine a typical guitar progress curve. You obviously start your journey at the bottom with 0 skills and knowledge, but then you gradually move to the top over the years. And
well, I'll tell you what, right now, I'm pretty sure he's going to say that's not how it happens. And yeah, linear progress... Linear progress doesn't happen. Instead of it going in a straight line like that, it's going to be more like, hang on, I'm trying to go the same way. I got to like think of it as a mirror here. So yeah, it doesn't go up linearly like that. It kind of goes up, down, up, down, up, down. It's like a jagged thing. You'll go up a bit, you're going to go straight a bit, then go up and then go straight a little bit. You might go dip down sometimes. Definitely never linear. So let's keep going there. Yeah, expect all kinds of plateaus and struggles if you want to keep getting better and better and better.
Gradually move to the top over the years, and once you put in your 10,000 hours, you're officially a professional guitarist. And
again, I'm pretty sure I know where he's going to go with this, but yeah, you put in your 10,000 hours. Well, it depends on what you do with those 10,000 hours, right? If you put in 10,000 hours of playing like an idiot, you're going to sound like an idiot. So perfect practice is what matters. Practicing for 10,000 hours when you're playing things wrong the entire time, it's, yeah, you're kind of screwed there.
And you can finally play everything that you ever dreamed about. When in reality, it actually looks something like this. You constantly encounter obstacles with both your technique and theory skills. And
See?
As a self-taught player, you're often looking for the completely wrong solutions for these big problems. This results in a very frustrating and not exactly enjoyable journey, and you're often making all of this way harder for yourself than it actually has to be. But all this ends today because you clicked on the right video.
Not mine, his. I don't think is my video the right one? No, only because I'm basically stealing his shit. No, commenting on it, right? Fair use.
And to make all of this much harder for me and definitely more entertaining for you, I will attempt the impossible in this video. I will try to draw a horse from memory without looking at any pictures, and we're gonna check out if I got it right by the end of this video. So to start things off, a very big mistake that I keep seeing is actually a quite deep misunderstanding of what the term guitar technique actually means and why it's so important. No, guitar technique doesn't just mean playing fast, and no, guitar technique is also not just an umbrella term for many different individual techniques like alternate picking, sweep picking, tapping, or any other specific guitar technique. It's much more about how seemingly small details with your picking motion or with your fretting hand technique make a huge difference when it comes to the positive outcome and progress on your guitar journey.
Very much agree. Yeah, it is. There's so many tiny little things that you got to do with your hand and your arms all the time. You retracted your message. I already saw what it was. Oh, well, that's fine. But yeah, so do people really think that? I haven't come across that too much. Like when people talk about technique, do they think about one specific thing? I don't know. Well, he's apparently dealt with that. Hey, let's continue on.
To give you the ability to test yourself right now, I want you to play this following exercise to see where you're currently at with your guitar techniques.
Oh, shit. Hey, well, all right, I'm going to take the test. Look at that big old smile right there. Okay, so that's the all right. Let's move some things around here on the screen. How well can I play that? Oh, look who it is! It's Lord Potato. How fast was that? Let's get the old metronome going. Let's see. Turn on airplane mode so we don't get interrupted. So about 120 it sounded like. All right. Let me at least look here at what he's going to play, or what he did play. Let's see. Alright, well, I can pick it. I'll tell you this. My technique with the fretting definitely needs some work. And how would I clean that up? Obviously start at 60 and work it up by 5s. That's what I always do. That's what I tell everyone to do, because it fucking works. Ah, damn it. Almost had it. Much better. It's very bluegrass. Bluegrass? Bluegrass. Very a bluegrass type kind of thing there, where you alternate pick all kinds of stuff like that. Normally, I wouldn't want to alternate pick something like that. I would do little sweeps instead. But hey, there we go. We just tried it out. Let's see what the man says next. And come on, get over there. And let's bring you back down. Woo! All right, continuing.
So this is a seemingly simple exercise, but surprisingly quite a lot of players really struggle with this one. The reason for that is that a lot of guitar players develop a one-sided picking escape movement preference. If you're...
Ooh, that's a Troy Grady territory right there. Look out!
Subscribed and part of our YouTube guitar community for a while now, you know that your pick has to escape from in between the strings and then jump over other strings in order to play advanced licks. And that exact pick escape movement, so away from that place in between your strings, is what might have tripped you up when you were playing this exercise, because the twist with this workout is that you have to escape in both directions in order to play. Early in our guitar journey, one of these movements, so either escaping from in between the strings with an upstroke or with a downstroke motion, comes easier for us than the other. As a self-taught player, that might be because of how you taught yourself to hold the pick, or because of the licks, music and players you've been studying so far. Either way, down the line, a lot of self-taught players tend to stick to just one of these motions.
I would say it's not just self-taught people either. I mean, certainly, but the whole escape motion thing is, I think it's relatively new to the guitar community. Maybe for like the past, I don't know how many years. What? I can't remember when Troy Grady first contacted me. But, like, I'm not self-taught, but my guitar teacher never told me anything about that. You know, I actually spoke to him a couple weeks ago, talking about the whole, you know, escape motion type stuff, and myself, I favor the downstroke escape because of, you know, how I pick really, really fast. But I would say everybody favors one escape motion over the other. I think a lot of it is just, well, like he said, like whatever licks or riffs or people that you follow, that plays a very big part in it. Very big part. So I would say, I don't know where he's going to go with it, but I'll say it's not bad to favor one over the other. Not bad at all. Good to be able to escape on a down or an upstroke, of course, but favoring one over the other, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
With their own licks and music. And that's not only creatively limiting, of course you will also run into some really big problems as soon as you have to learn and play material that requires the other approach that you're not exactly familiar with for a job or for a gig. So my personal suggestion for your practice routine is always including at least a couple of workouts that deal with both pick escape movements, like this one for example. Started off kind of...
It got cut off. Well, now I want to play it. Is this one of those, oh, here it is. Okay, so if you're on the Patreon group, you get the whole lick. All right, well, I'm going to go back to where it started here.
With both pick escape movements, like this one, for example.
All right, what do we got here? Da-da-da-da-da-da. So you pick it a bump, pick it a bump, pick it a bump, pick it a bump. I could probably make up my... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, that's... Ooh, he's doing sextuplets. Oh, shit. That's fast. That's fast. All right. Let's change the angle here a little bit. Let's see how I can do. Let's see how I do with this. Microphone might be in the way. There we go. All right, so we have kind of a interesting rhythm there. If your rhythm's not very good, that might F you up big time. All right, so that's the first part. And then, what does he do for the next bits? So he keeps hitting different notes at the end there. God damn it. I gotta have the muscle memory for the left hand. Damn it. Just making a guess as to where he's gonna go. Let's do our own version of it here. There we go. If I had the whole thing in front of me, I'd have a better chance. Muscle memory on the left hand's important too. Important too. So, my tips on this one. Again, I'm guessing it looks like you gotta be on his Patreon page to get the full exercise, right? So this is 6 notes a click here. And that's going to be too fast for most people to start with. Okay? So, I recommend, if those of you watching want to get this up with the best chance possible, start with 3 notes a click. Start at 60, get that right, because you're not just doing the right hand escape motion stuff and all that stuff, or whatever your picking hand is, right hand, left hand. It's not just the picking that counts, it's the left hand. And because there's some rhythmic variations that happen in this, that also adds to the complexity of this riff, or this exercise, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, we always want to start slow because we need to get the muscle memory down for everything. And for something like this, we need to get the rhythm correct too. And then work this up to 240 or beyond with 3 notes a click before you start fiddling around with 6 notes a click. Because that's difficult stuff for most people. Most people are not ready to be playing 6 notes a click because you haven't worked on it enough. 6 notes a click is fast. That's very fast stuff. Berth is clearly a good fucking player. God damn. Let's continue on here.
It started off kind of promising, but it's going in a really bad direction. I can't really figure out how the legs work. I can't remember. So they bend in this direction. It looks like a human leg. So
Why?
it doesn't look right. So since we're already talking about exercises, the actual choice and selection of daily workouts is also often less than optimal with self-taught players. This is something I see every single day in the Patreon VIP Facebook group where I'm coaching my awesome Patreon community. Of course, aspiring shredders are always drawn to the chromatic workouts.
Yeah, the chromatic stuff, stop it. Stop doing so much fucking chromatic work. Unless you plan on doing a bunch of chromatic stuff in your playing, like, they're not well designed to be more musical. He likes horsing around. Very good, Lord Potato. Pow. Jesus. Makes me think I should do what Twitch streamers do and have the comments, the chat thing up on the side. Maybe next time. Anyway. Yeah, I guess I was wrong. Well, maybe if you join his Patreon group, you can get that full link there that was on screen. But yeah, knowing what to do can be tough. Hey, that's why I'm in business. I help people that don't know what the hell to do. I got my takes on it all. But anyway, let's go. Jesus Christ. Hold your horses. Very good, Joe Lou. And he went off the main topic, M-A-N-E. Very good, Lord Potato. Continuing.
The kind of unmusical speed drills.
Yes, unmusical speed drills, exactly. Now, you could argue some of that stuff could be used very well for, like, more death metal type stuff. But anyway, let's continue on.
And that's perfectly okay. It's the same with me, of course, and I love working on this every single day to push myself even more. But take a guess right now what's actually missing from pretty much every single student routine I ever looked at. That's right, practical music theory. So with the following exercise, I would like to offer a compromise. This one that I'm working on right now in my practice routine is actually amazing for your alternate picking and for your sweep picking, but there is actually also a really cool and useful music theory twist. You're playing the arpeggios on all scale degrees.
Just want to pause there real quick. Yep. I'm curious why he put the B diminished as a capital Roman numeral. I was taught it needs to be lowercase because it is more closely related to a minor chord. I will also see the lowercase 7 Roman numeral with a degree symbol after it, which represents diminished. You will also see lowercase 7 Roman numeral with DIM after it, or even capitalized with DIM after it. But I suppose we're just being, arguing semantics, being pedantic, whatever. Let's continue.
Of the C major scale, quite similar to what I showed you last week when we talked about fretboard visualization. In case you missed it, make sure to subscribe right now, or
I missed it.
you will just keep missing possibly life-changing guitar tips like that, just saying. So back to the exercise you started.
I guess I will be missing life-changing content I can comment on and ride the coattails of someone else's success, like the fitness industry does. I know what I'm doing. Do I? Do I? No. I have no idea if this is going to work out or not. Chromatic exercise. All right. Just a comment here from Rockstar Jazz Cat in the chat section. Chromatic exercises work with target notes and structure develop bop chops, but otherwise, yeah, bop stuff is something I'm very unfamiliar with. That's jazz territory. I'm just a I don't know. What's the equivalent of meathead when it comes to music? Just a metalhead? Well, yeah, I suppose if you're doing it in a musical sense, absolutely. Perhaps. Have you shared some with me yet? I know you shared stuff like a year ago. That was a long time ago. Do you have any bop licks that you would recommend that or you could share in a link there? Anyway, let's continue on.
Out with a B diminished arpeggio. So you're actually starting out with the arpeggio on the 7th scale degree of the C major scale, and then you move backwards until you reach C major. And in addition to these really cool and useful sweep picking arpeggios, you're also alternate picking through all the 7 modes. So you're always starting out with the root note of each mode on the high E string, and you're also ending with the root note on the A string.
Well, how... Hold on a minute. Are you tuned different? I'm not going to be playing this up to speed. My sweep picking sucks. But I'll tell you this, 12th fret on the A string, that's an A. Is he tuned different? Because that's not a B diminished. And then that note's not in key. Is this just supposed to be based on it? Because that's... Alright. Let's get into the actual... You know, hey, this is what we're doing. We're commenting here. Is this diminished? Yes, it is. Is that a B diminished? Let me see what he's tuned to. Because 12th fret on the A string, no, that's a A note.
Mode on the high E string, and you're also ending with the root note on the A string.
Let me slow it down so I can hear the notes a bit more easily. Because I really want to make sure I'm tuned the same as him.
Root note of each mode on the high
E string.
And you're also
ending
with the
root note on the A string. Okay, he is in standard tuning. All right, well, that's not a B diminished. Let's actually go into what that is. Let's talk about the notes that we have here, too. I'll move my big face over here. Let's see. We can actually add text on this. Well, that might be kind of a pain. All right, I want to get some text going here so we can actually take a look at everything. I have less than an hour before the next lesson. Hey, Charles, are you still there? All right, getting the text document set up. All right, now let me add a window. All right, window capture. Where you at? There we go. Okay, yes, that is what I want. Excellent. Yoink, yoink. Oh, got to cover up Lord Potato. All right. So let's look at what we have here. The first note he's hitting is an A, not a B, not a B. Let's see. Perhaps I will understand what's happening better after I input all this stuff. I hope this isn't going to... Let me move the keyboard so it doesn't sound all rumbly when I type. All right, so the first note is an A, then he's hitting a C, and then he's going out of key here. 13th fret there, that's a... Well, let's say in this case, if we're looking at it as a diminished, we got A, C, E flat. There's another A, and then C, and then E flat. He's hammering on to an, well, we'll say G flat in this case. Kind of stick with the, you know, skip every other note thing. Let me enlarge the font. Or enlarge the text. What's the proper thing to say here? All right, there we go. Those are the notes being used. So, look at it. So the A is your root note. C is your flat third or minor third. E flat is your flat 5 or diminished fifth. And then he repeats that. Root, flat third, flat 5. Now that G flat is a double flat 7. So what he's starting off with is not a B diminished arpeggio. He's playing an A diminished 7. So I don't know why he did that. Did he mean to play it up a whole step? Because if he played everything starting a whole step up, so instead of doing it starting on a 12, he'd do it that pattern. Again, I'm not going to be able to sweep it as good as him. He's a far better sweep picker than I am. Easily. Ah, see? If you move that up a whole step, this is clearly a shape I have never practiced. It's awful. Yeah, but if you did it there, you move everything up 2 frets, that's a B diminished 7. I mean, and it's not even like fully just like a regular diminished, because a diminished only has 3 notes. Diminished 7's got the 4. But this part here, I mean, that is doing the B Locrian mode. That part, I agree with that. But I don't know why he did A diminished 7 instead of a B diminished arpeggio, because that's not a B diminished arpeggio. That's an A diminished 7. Continuing. See? Rockstar Jazz Cat said diminished 7 too. He knows what's up. Let me put this back at standard speed. We don't need it to be that slow anymore. Alright, let's examine that. So, says A minor. Okay, A minor arpeggio right now. Well, again, what do we actually have here? That's a big stretch, man. All right, well, this one is an A minor arpeggio over E. He's starting with the fifth interval of an A minor chord here. That, yes, that is an A minor arpeggio technically, even though you're starting on the E note. I know this shape a little bit. Got that stretch, man. That's a bitch. So long, Joe Lou. Glad you could stick around for a little bit. God, just that stretch and like that. See, I suck at this. Now, if we just did this, I'd be okay. Anyway, continuing. Let me we'll get rid of this thing for the moment. Hey, where did it go? Window capture. We'll turn that off for right now. We'll bring it back if we're gonna figure out some theory schmutz again. Well, here he is starting with a G. Ugh. Yeah, another shape I don't practice at all. But yeah, that's a G chord. Or G arpeggio. Yep. Definitely an F chord.
So yes, this one is a bit
He cut it off! He cut it off again!
tricky, but trust me, sinking your teeth into this advanced workout is 100% worth it. With just one workout, you improve on your alternate picking, sweep picking, and also fretboard.
Alright, let me get my head out of the way again.
Visualization skills. And that's what I like to call working smarter and not harder. As always, I like to call working 100% worth it. So yes, this one is a bit tricky, but trust me, sinking your teeth into this advanced workout is 100% worth it. With just one workout, you improve on your alternate picking, sweep picking, and also fretboard visualization.
Alright. So I got something I'd like to add on this. Are you working on all those things in the same thing? Absolutely. I did not word that well. And of course, this is just about he's saying self-guitar. Self-guitar. God, cannot speak. This is addressed to self-taught guitarists, right? Self-taught guitarists. If you are a beginner, having a workout or exercise that covers all that stuff at once, I would say that you're probably biting off more than you should be trying to chew. Yeah, like I feel it's best to focus on one thing at a time instead of as much stuff as possible at once. It's like trying to squat and bench press and deadlift all in like one kind of motion or something. Like, you know, one of those exercises where you can squat down, then you curl the weight up, and then you press overhead. You squat, curl it up, press overhead, I don't know, bend over, do a bent over row, and then that stuff. It's like, no, if you're going to work on squats, you squat. You need to work on your overhead press, you work on your overhead press. So when I work with students, we work on one thing at a time. You want to start putting everything together, that's fine. It's like an extracurricular kind of thing. But, you know, if you're struggling with alternate picking and you want to improve that, I would recommend just work on alternate picking. If you want to work on sweep picking, just work on the alternate, work on alternate picking for the sweep. If you want to work on sweep picking, work on the sweep picking. So, as you just saw, my sweep picking is very subpar, especially compared to Bernth here. So I would need to just work on the sweep picking portion, not the alternate picking portion. As far as like this really working on music theory, I would say kind of. I mean, yeah, you're learning stuff on the fretboard. The first shape, though, as we just went over, was not a B diminished chord. That was an A diminished 7. So that one is not right. Anyway, but yeah, learning arpeggio shapes can, teach you what arpeggio shapes are. Is that necessarily learning music theory? I guess to me, when I'm thinking like music theory, it's an explanation of what it is. Like, you learn what it is first, and then like, okay, now you can use it in this context here. So like learning what your triads are, which is kind of what he was talking about there, like your diminished, your major, your minor, and then putting it in key. So anyway, let's continue on. We are only like halfway done, and I've got 40 minutes until I gotta teach.
Skills. And that's what I like to call working smarter and not harder. As always, I made much slower exercise play-along videos, backing tracks, tabs, and guitar profile.
So he does have it up on his Patreon there. Look at that. There you go. Go to patreon.com//Bernd to get this stuff. Look at that.
Especially for you on patreon.com/Bernd. So make sure to get all your practice files for your next
Bounce? I've been pronouncing it wrong.
Routine, and join our really awesome, super friendly and progress-driven guitar community on Patreon right now if you're serious about your guitar progress. The next topic is about what I like to call
single note domination.
This is something that self-taught rock and metal guitar players are especially guilty of, since we're all about the shredding and the riffs, of course, but not so much about the beautiful chords and ballads. So with most practice routines of self-taught players in this genre, you don't really see chords or strumming exercises in there at all. I was one of these players as well, and when I actually scored my very first big pop/rock gig, I was actually quite shocked by how hard it was to play simple strumming patterns perfectly to a click in a live or studio environment.
So if anyone's taken lessons with me, well, not anyone, I'd say most people that have taken lessons with me know we start by strumming chords for the most part. Power chords, yes, because it's based in metal, but we also learn the old cowboy chords, even jazz chords eventually, depending on how far we go with the music theory portion of things. Yeah, but even if it is single note playing that you're focused on, you still need solid rhythm in order to make your lead playing and your single note riffing sound the best that it can. Because if your rhythm sucks, everything suffers.
Admit it together with me, we all spend so much time on the fast, crazy and virtuosic stuff in our practice routine. But if we are completely honest, a lot of us really struggle with the basic fundamentals of guitar playing because we never actively worked on building or at least maintaining those basic skills.
But if you work with me, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. We absolutely cover the fundamentals and the building blocks to how all this stuff is done, so you can venture off on your own eventually and handle anything that you set out to do, because you'll understand how to practice, you'll understand how to count things, how to feel it out, all that good stuff. So yes, absolutely agreeing with him 100% here. You gotta have the fundamentals in order to be the best player you want to be.
So if you're guilty of
single note domination
in your practice routine, my suggestion is at least including some funk patterns in your workouts with rhythmic dead note patterns across multiple strings. Not only is this great,
yes, fundamentals, very good, Joe Lou.
For your timing, it's also very beneficial for unlocking your wrist motion for fast picking, because you can't really play these patterns like that. You have to really loosen up and use your wrist like that in order to play material like this.
Okay, well now I have to try this. A lot of string raking in there. I do agree that, you having some looseness to your wrist while you play is very, I'm going to say beneficial. Necessary? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it is necessary. Now, again, if you're a beginner, like look at this pattern here. He's starting off with a group of 30-second notes there. He's got 4 30-second notes. So basically what you're looking at here is the mouse showing up. Yeah, it's showing up. You got your 8th note, 4 30 seconds, and then 3 solid beats, or 3 beats of solid 16th notes. And then you have an 8th note, 2 16s, so your standard gallop there. And then he's got, we could say 16th note triplets, but you can also look at it as 6 notes a click, because you could beam these together right here and show 6 notes a click. So he's got some performance stuff here, having you strike the strings a bit harder at this point. Let's try this out here. Clean, gotta go clean. Now this is something I really don't do with students. I don't do much string breaking stuff at all. Nothing wrong with doing it like this. Is he doing this at 120 as well?
Check out the really awesome. Not only is this great for your timing, it's also very beneficial for unlocking your wrist motion for fast picking, because you can't really play these patterns like that. You have to really loosen up and use your wrist like that in order to play material like this.
1 2. Yeah, about 120 again. Well, good. It's good to practice strumming. But yeah, like one thing to add to this whole strumming thing, I like to think of it like you have a slight bend to the wrist like this. So you bend it just a little bit, and then it kind of looks like this. Almost like you're rotating your arm for a lot of that strum stuff. Now there is some, actually went over this recently, some elbow motion that happens in this. It's not like keeping the wrist rigid and trying to do it like that. So a little bit of elbow does happen, but it's kind of like doing this and like trying to shake, I don't know, like if your hand's wet and you're trying to shake it dry, just kind of do that sort of thing. Just kind of flop it down and up this way. Damn it. Trying to get that, that's a funky, yeah, it's funk, trying to get that pattern in that second bar there. So we got, hey, what can we do to actually make it more metal, huh? What can we do there? Does it have to be funk? Absolutely not. You can still get this kind of stuff with doing a metally thing. Why not go between an E5, an open E5, and an F? So that'd be anyway, you get the idea. Maybe stay on one chord for a bit and get used to the rhythm. No. Something like that. Something like that. So, I mean, you could take that pattern and do all kinds of stuff with it there. Let's do that slow. Let's do that really slow. Good old 60 beats per minute. So this is, again, this is what the rhythm is. So, oh man, I gotta think about it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, da, da, da. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second rhythm would be so 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So 1. So something like that. You can do something like that, make it sound more metal. So that's another reason I just stick with the, you don't have to palm mute either, but I would say, I can't talk again. I don't see anything wrong with sticking with like the power chord stuff if you want it to sound more metal, because you get the same kind of work in as I just showed. Instead of, you don't have to do the funk thing, you don't have to do the string rake stuff, because it does need to be something that you want to hear as well, right? I think so. Anyway, nothing wrong with what is being demonstrated here. I just wanted to show an alternative thing you could do to work on that specific rhythm and make it fucking metal, right? Right. Let's continue.
Check out the really awesome three-dimensional effect that I got by shading the legs like this. So it basically looks like a big blob on human legs. So up next, a really popular question I get almost every single day on Patreon. Should you practice with distortion or with a clean sound in your daily routine?
I don't know what he's going to say, but I'm going to answer that one. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to get good with distortion, I say practice with distortion. Like, there's a lot of stuff with distortion. People, a lot of times you hear people say distortion covers up mistakes. It depends. If you're playing like really crazy fast and it's just filling in like percussive sounds and you can't tell what the hell's going on anymore, sure, it can cover up mistakes in that aspect. However, if you're playing slow and you're focused on good technique, good rhythm and all that stuff, distortion can really expose bad muting technique. So distortion, for the most part, yeah, just play with distortion on. If you want to get good with distortion, play with the damn thing on. If you're trying to play like a bunch of cowboy chords, jazz chords, things like that, yeah, play with no distortion. Just do it clean. Do it clean. And I have had people work on hammer-ons and pull-offs with distortion turned off because they, like the compression in distorted sounds, it makes like pull-offs that are more like a hammer-on from nothing sound louder. So if you can do hammer-ons and pull-offs well without distortion, that's a good thing. So sometimes I will, yes, have students practice that stuff, no distortion, even on an acoustic. I had one guy do that because he really needed to get the technique right. We didn't want any amp stuff helping him out. So yeah, there's my response. Should you practice with distortion? For the most part, yes, if you want to get good with distortion. Clean on for certain circumstances, such as making sure your hammer-ons and pull-offs are done properly and the compression is not doing the work for you. All right, here we go. What does he say?
The reason why this is actually quite confusing for self-taught players is that a lot of distortion seemingly hides mistakes or simply covers them up a bit. But the thing is,
Ooh.
you actually often can't hear unwanted noise.
See? We said the same thing. Distortion amplifies unwanted noise. Wait, that's kind of covered up there. Whoop. There you go. Unwanted noise. See? See? He says the same thing. Whoops.
Resulting from a sloppy fretting hand technique with a clean sound.
Whoops.
Because, as you know, distortion greatly amplifies this problem. So what I can really recommend and what I do myself every single day when it comes to working on rock and metal guitar technique is working with a sound similar to this one. It It's very transparent and dry. You can hear all the important details and also the tiny inconsistencies and mistakes, of course, as you're practicing. There's no reverb, delay, or compression on my practice sound, but it's also a bit closer to the practical application in my playing and music than just a clean sound. In case you would like to hear and study this kind of naked and quite unforgiving sound in a practical situation, I highly recommend checking out my single Orbito class on Spotify. This one is a lot of fun because it showcases how some of the crazy metal techniques actually sound like without any distortion. So if you enjoy it and if you're a guitar nerd just like me, make sure to follow me on Spotify. The link is in the description. Okay.
So, it's not a bad idea, practicing with light distortion. I am curious how well that light distortion would actually amplify the unwanted noise, though. Without fiddling around or trying that specific sound and that setup, my concern is that someone with an untrained ear might not catch the unwanted noise. So until you have a trained ear, you might want to play with more distortion because it will amplify the mistakes or the poor muting technique a lot better. I do agree having the reverb and delay, all those kinds of effects turned off is a very good thing. So you can have a dry sound with distortion and not have a bunch of extra stuff ringing out. Let me rephrase that. You can have a dry, distorted sound that doesn't have, your reverb and delay causing like echoes and things. Because sometimes you might hear the echo or delay and think, oh, well, it was that, when it turns out it's unwanted noise. Yeah, anyway, let's continue. His horse has got a hell of a mouth.
Okay, I'm honestly trying not to make this look creepy, but it looks like a skull right away. Looks like a pig snorting well. I don't know, how does the nose work? And the last and possibly most important input I'd like to share today that especially concerns self-taught players is all about the difference between playing at home and actually playing live. If you're not out there on stage yet on a regular basis, I'm sure you want to get there at some point. And there are two big issues that are not really talked about that much, especially about self-taught players: posture and body tension. So if your practice posture is completely different from your live playing posture, you might also get completely different results sound-wise, and that's probably not what you're going for.
Yeah, that's sitting down versus standing up can make a huge difference. Lord Potato says the horse looks like it belongs in Dark Souls. I could see that. Yeah, I try to have my guitar strap set in such a way that it is very close to how it feels when I'm sitting down. So that means I don't have the James Hetfield thing where the guitar is down to my knees. I have it high, looking like a nerd on stage. But at least I can play my riffs. I might not look as cool. Do I sound cool, though? Depends on the person, I suppose. I'm sure to a lot of people it sounds like ass and they don't like my stuff. A couple people out there like it. At least two, I think.
Having my guitar in this exact position actually allows me to easily prepare at home for these concerts, because I can have my guitar on a strap just like this when I'm sitting down. So it's essentially almost the exact same feeling when I'm sitting down.
See, look at that. Look how this man and I say the same thing when it comes to this stuff. I like that. I like how we think the same. We must have gone through similar experiences. We just don't agree on what a B diminished is.
Down and practicing, and then later standing up and playing on stage. And the second tip I would like to add is all about tension and pressure when you're playing live. When you encounter a bit of stage fright or anxiety before public performances, you often tend to tense up and grip the neck way harder than usual. And I personally got much better results as a live performer when I learned to detach, and by focusing on not tensing up with both of my hands, really letting go, staying relaxed, and also by focusing on not rushing and maybe even playing a little bit laid back. So when you have to perform in front of other people next time, take a deep breath, make your movements much more relaxed and efficient, and I guarantee you will be much happier with your performance.
That feels like a video, like that topic right there could easily be made into a greater detailed video. I am wording things poorly. Because yeah, just saying like take a deep breath and just relax when you go on stage. Like that's definitely easier said than done. I mean, you can like visualize yourself on stage, like literally, like just imagine yourself on stage and take time to like run through the whole set or whatever you're going to be doing. Literally visualize yourself doing it, running through everything. Like listen to the music you're going to be playing and just visualize how it's going to be. Stand up while you're doing it. Try and like really put yourself in that moment, so this way you kind of preparing yourself mentally for that sort of thing. Yeah, that's not an easy thing to practice. That's like getting up in front of people as much as you can, if that's what you want to do, is necessary. Except if you can accept the fact that you might feel freaked out and like, oh God, you know, the first several times you go on stage. If you can accept that, that might help. If you expect yourself to be calm and not feel nervous at all, you might be setting yourself up for disaster. I have been playing for over 20 years. I have barely been on stage in that time. Maybe 20 times, tops. I don't know. It's really sad. I would like to be on stage more. But I would always get nervous. I would always get nervous before going on stage. And I remember reading somewhere, like, I think Dave Murray said from Iron Maiden, that he still gets nervous before going on stage. It's like when you care about what you're going to do, you feel nervous, you know? In the chat here, Mr. Plastodon says, have a friend over while you do this so they can cause technical issues like in real life. Yeah, you will experience technical issues when you're on stage. You're going to have your guitars all of a sudden going to just shut off. You're going to wonder what the hell's going on. Hey, I had technical issues starting today, and they're just like, son of a bitch, why is this not working? Why is the microphone acting like this? Like, oh God. And now, yeah, like I spent like 30 minutes recording this month's Patreon lesson. Right, throwing beer cans. That's another, yes, have your friends throw beer cans at you while you're practicing. I have yet to have that happen, thankfully. We're almost here at the end. We got less than a minute left on this video. Let's finish out. But yeah, just like visualizing how it is on stage. I do agree, like trying to take a deep breath before you go on stage is important. One thing to keep in mind, like if you're worried about mistakes and things like that, just don't make the mistake face. Don't make a mistake face when you're on stage, because most likely people in the audience, they're not going to know you made a mistake unless you make it very obvious that you did. So just watch your facial expressions if you do screw up. Know the song well enough that you're playing that you can continue on even though the mistake is made. So yeah, you got to practice the ever-living hell out of whatever you're going to do on stage, so this way you're basically sick of practicing it, but when you're on stage, muscle memory kicks in, you're on autopilot, and you have a much better chance of doing a good performance.
Check out my masterpiece. What do you think? As expected, it looks way too creepy. I have no idea how the head of a horse...
He's so frickin' metal, he has to make the horse look that way. His metalness has come out of this drawing.
Actually works, and it always ends up looking like a skull when I draw something. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call him Herbert. And of course, when you sign something, it always looks much more professional right away. So there you have it, a beautiful, majestic horse drawn from memory. Please let me know in the comments what I should draw next. Alright my friends, it's time to start practicing, so make sure to get all your files for this video below on Patreon. I will hopefully see you again in the next video. Once again, the YouTube algorithm says this one is a great choice, in case you would like to keep watching. So have tons of fun practicing. See you soon. Greetings from Vienna. Bye bye.
Vienna.
Hi guys.
Hey, we're not watching you. Oh, sweep picking is easy. Yes, we're gonna be reviewing that one too. Sweep picking is easy. Maybe I'll do that one next. All right. Let's
Come to
see.
my channel.
Shush. We'll get to you. All right, everybody. That is it then. Time to wrap this up. Hey. So yes, you want all those the exercises or whatnot that Mr. Bernth I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Banth? I can't remember how he did it. Oh, whatever. Yeah, go to his Patreon page. Patreon.com/BERNTH. Hey, I got a Patreon thing too. Of course I do. For $1 a month, you can get over 100 different lessons. And it greatly helps. Every dollar absolutely helps to be able to do more stuff like this. Absolutely. Well, I got to wrap this up. Yes, Lord Potato also says, in terms of making a mistake on stage, you can also just try and laugh it off. True. If you look upset on stage, I don't know, it comes across as kind of bad. Can, at least. But it's good to be able to laugh at your mistakes, because, yeah, they're going to happen. They are going to happen. All right. Well, that is that. Time to end the stream here. And then hopefully within a week we will have the condensed version of this, so it's easier to watch. Just go through all the important stuff there. I do plan on doing more of this. The sweep picking is easy. Right away, the just that title right there, I completely disagree with that. I think sweep picking is one of the hardest things you could ever learn. It is extremely difficult, but, we'll find out in perhaps the next stream why this man says sweep picking is easy. We'll find out. He might have some good points. I don't know. All right. Thank you to everyone who watched the stream, was able to participate, was able to comment. Sorry about the beginning where the mic was being a, malfunctioning piece of equipment. And, all right. This stream is